and welcome to NDTV. I'm Rohit Khilnani. 2019 is coming to an end and it's that time of the year when we get you the highlights from the world of entertainment. This year I travel the world to interview the who's who from the world of entertainment and music. So be it Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, Brie Larson for Avengers, U2 before they came to India, or Katy Perry after she came to India. We got all these interviews exclusively on NDTV. So sit back, relax while we get you the best from our kitty from 2019. Let me start with my favorite interview, that was Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. There was so much buzz about this film before and after the release. I sat down with Joaquin exclusively in LA and I asked him the important question. How did he get the laughter right? Listen in. What a terrific performance, Joaquin. This raises the bar for all the actors in the world. Now you're getting the 5 stars, now you're getting the awards at the festivals. At what point did you feel, okay, we have got it right?
I don't think I ever felt that way.
No.
And I think it's the nature of the character
Right.
is you never really know what it is precisely. And so I never had this moment of certainty or confidence in knowing that we'd found the character.
Right.
It was something that was constantly evolving, really up until the last scene that we were shooting, the very last shot. I think we did 7 different versions of it, and we did 7 takes, I think, and each take was a different version. And some very drastically different, and some with minor adjustments. And that just was the nature of this character. It was something that I think was always showing us different colors, different pathways to go down, to pursue.
Right. What stays with me is the laugh. How long did it take for you to get the right laugh?
Well, I started working on it really right when I first met Todd. He showed me some videos.
Right.
I started working on it, and that was honestly 7 months before we started shooting.
Right.
No, I didn't practice it all through that period.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't feel like I started to find it until we were shooting several weeks. And there's a scene in the film that was our second day of shooting, and I hadn't really found it
Oh my God.
yet. So it's hard to watch that scene.
Right. Were there times where you could relate to the character, you could understand why he's doing, and also sometimes feel annoyed with what he was doing?
Certainly. I mean, I think that's what is challenging about the character, right? In some ways, we're exploring the effects of childhood trauma and PTSD and how that affects the brain and
Right.
affects people's choices and their decision making.
Right.
How they become fueled by anxiety.
Right.
And it's hard not to sympathize with an innocent child
Right.
that is abused.
Right.
However, there are choices that he makes that I don't have sympathy for.
him.
But I think the movie can be, again, it can be viewed in so many different ways. Some of it, in some ways, a joke. I mean, he says at the end, he says, I'm thinking of a joke, and you wouldn't get it. And it's as if this whole experience has been this long, elaborate joke.
Right.
And so I think it was really interesting and bold to make a movie that explored these different sides of the character in different ways that you might, as the audience,
Right.
interpret it and understand their motivation.
Right. Moving on from Joker to Avengers, I sat down with Brie Larson and Jeremy Renner. I asked them, how do they take their own position? Is it a position of power that comes with a lot of responsibility because they are world celebrities? They had different answers. This was one of the most watched interviews on our website. Take a look. Brie, Jeremy, it's such a pleasure to be in the same room as you guys. You guys are world celebrities. Tell me, I want to ask you, does this position come with a lot of responsibility? Do you look at it that way?
To look at it with responsibility. I mean, I am committed to self-improvement, and I work at being the best person that I can be and using this platform for as much good as I can. But it doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes, but I'm very comfortable with that and allowing myself to learn from those mistakes.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty accountable and responsible in my own life, at any rate. So, celebrity is not something that I use as any sort of platform to be more responsible or accountable, I suppose. But it's certainly an absolute blessing to see the joy on kids' faces.
Yeah.
That couldn't be I don't think there's a feeling that comes close to that.
Absolutely, you guys are entertaining the entire world. You know, if you could use any superhero power from the Avengers and use it in the real world, whose power would it be and where would you use it?
Gosh. Oh, no.
Or use your
I like
power?
flight. I like anybody could fly.
Flying.
Fly,
I
fly
know
is
Captain
cool.
Marvel
It'd
can
be fun.
fly. I
That'd be
feel
fun.
like I'd probably fly just
like to
because
do that.
I like to travel and it seems like it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
What is the best part of being on a set the day all the actors are there?
Yeah, I've worked with them all in the past, and nothing gets done. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but nothing gets done.
And Robert Downey Jr. gets the lunch and that's what you guys enjoy?
there is the Downey lunches that are quite fun. Yes.
And you know, when you were joining the franchise, what were your expectations? Did everything fall into place very easily?
I feel like I came in at a really special time.
Right.
So, in particular, like my first day really at work was doing the Marvel 10-year anniversary photo. So my introduction into this world was I got to hang out with everybody and meet everybody. So I felt very comfortable then when I went off and did the solo movie that I had this support and this family behind me.
Great. Any plans to come to India?
Oh, I love India. I'd love to come back, yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
Different answers from both Brie and Jeremy, and some equation that I couldn't understand. Maybe that's why this was one of the most shared interviews on NDTV.com. Moving on to Ryan Reynolds. Yes, he was Detective Pikachu this year. I asked him why did he move on from Deadpool to Detective Pikachu for his kids. Listen to what he had to say. Ryan, good to see you in person.
Hello.
I saw one of your interviews where you said my daughter says in some place that Deadpool is a dad. Is that the reason why you did Pikachu?
Yeah, I'd rather her say Detective Pikachu's my dad than Deadpool in a public place. But part of the reason is why I wanted to do it was they're smart. The Pokemon people, they sent over a fully realized CGI rendering of Detective Pikachu set to my voice, and I watched it. And my daughter walked past as I was watching on the laptop, and when I was considering doing the movie, and she just thought that was the coolest thing she's ever seen.
Wow.
So immediately I was like, okay, I'm going to have to consider this. So I read the script, and the script was great. Like, it was a great story that whether it had Pokemon in it or not, it was still a great story. So for me, that ticked all the boxes.
Quite a transformation from Deadpool to Pikachu, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's about 80% less body weight, a little bit more yellow fur. Yeah, a few less swear words.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah,
Few.
yeah, pretty good.
Younger daughter likes villains. That's what I read.
That is true. My 2-year-old is obsessed with villains. She's like, really, in any movie when the villain shows up, she stands up and claps like she's at a valedictorian speech or something. It's crazy.
So what are you doing next for her?
Probably playing a villain.
Great.
Is my imagine. I imagine I'll be playing a villain at some point. Yeah.
Fantastic. If you ever had a Pokemon in real life next to you all the time, how would you use them in the real world?
Oh boy, I imagine I could manipulate a lot of people using a Pokemon, you know? I would carry around like a Squirtle, maybe. A little like sweet little guy. Yeah, that's probably my favorite Pokemons. Yeah.
And do what in the real world?
Oh man, I would do everything. Are you kidding me? It would just be like one big, crazy, slow motion musical video. It'd be great. It'd be like a Jerry Herman musical, but with Pokemon.
You know, you've done so much work in your career. What is it about this that excites you?
I don't, I just I love stuff that has a kind of a impact on the zeitgeist in certain ways. I mean, I love that Deadpool's sort of a character that is constantly revolving around pop culture and constantly referencing pop culture. And I love that this is something that's already in the pop culture. I love that it's something for 20 years people have been obsessed with this. And so it's exciting to dive into that world and learn about it. And I like to learn about why people are obsessed with it.
I sat down with U2, yes, Bono and The Edge in New York before they came to Mumbai to perform. Interestingly, they knew so much about India even before they got here. Listen in.
Take two.
we have two music legends, Bono and The Edge.
Here.
Welcome
Hello.
to this wonderful studio, and thank you so much for this.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Great to see you again.
Great to see you again. So you see history repeating itself with your lyrics being so relevant even today. You see that, you hear that from your fans?
Yeah, even more so, I think, than in the 80s. There's jeopardy.
Right.
You know, we were, you know, India's just the most extraordinary achievement for democracy. You know, a functional democracy in a world that's full of dysfunctional democracy, and we're very grateful to you for that. But I don't take democracy for granted, and I don't think we should. It's a blip, really, if you think about the history of human civilization.
Right.
So you should be very proud of it. Even whatever position you take on who's in government, you should be very proud of your democracy.
Right.
And the other thing that's so important to us is the fight against injustice. And, you know, we are somehow shaped and formed by Martin Luther King, who was a student of Mahatma Gandhi.
Right.
And Martin Luther King had this line, he said, "The moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice."
Right.
I don't believe that anymore.
No?
I don't believe it anymore. I think it doesn't bend toward justice. It has to be bent towards justice.
Has to be bent.
We have to actively be involved in our democracy to preserve it, and, you know, show people how we feel and the things that we care about. So this, you know, we come as students to the source of inspiration that is ahimsa, if I could say that right. You know, non-violence.
Non-violence.
India gave us this.
Yeah.
It's the greatest gift to the world. You gave it to us.
Right.
And it's more powerful than nuclear energy. It's more powerful than the armies and the navies of the British Empire.
Right.
And we, you know, it's more power than power itself. And it's never been more important.
Yes.
And we're going to play some rock and roll music.
Yeah, right.
And we're just going to turn up and have some fun. And, you know, we make a very vivid show.
Right.
But we'll go through the black and white to get there.
Right. You speak so passionately about Mahatma Gandhi. Are these the things that stand out apart from ahimsa? What else?
Of India?
Yeah.
I first discovered India through Salman Rushdie's Midnight's Children. That's where I certainly traveled. What about you?
Interestingly enough, our first ever show that you could describe as being about political activism was an anti-apartheid show in Dublin. We were very young. We were like 17, 18. And that movement, the anti-apartheid movement, was largely created by an Indian gentleman called Kadar Asmal. Okay. And Kadar was a lecturer in Trinity College. He actually taught our manager, Paul McGuinness. And Kadar eventually went back to South Africa and wrote the South African Constitution.
Right.
So our connections with India and activism and these principles go way back to the very beginning of the band.
Right. You know, what has a lot of things have changed over the years. Records have became tapes, and then now it's all digital. Selfies are the new autographs. Have you all adapted well to the change? I see you all having fun on social media as well.
You know, we do, but we're also aware of the fact that it has to work in a way that's consistent with who we are as artists. You know, not growing up in that era, you have to be cognizant of it being sort of there's certain risks involved in going headlong into it.
While you two spoke to me before they came to Mumbai, Katy Perry spoke to me after she landed. Yes, she also performed in Mumbai, and we got an exclusive interview with her. I asked her an important question. Are there any chances that she'll come again with her fiancé Orlando Bloom? Listen to what she had to say. Katy Perry, welcome back to India and welcome to Mumbai.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to finally be here.
Good. You were here last time as well. What are your best memories of India?
Well, the last time I was here in Chennai 7 years ago for the IPL, the IPL game, it was quick.
Yeah.
And I was,
didn't get time.
I didn't get as much time. I was a little jet lagged, and you know, sometimes the jet lag can take the fun out of things because you're like, I don't know what to do. But ever since I started like meditating and, you know, putting better things into my body, I can really acclimate quicker.
Right.
So I had to meditate when I got in at 5 a.m., when I was about to go to bed. And that's been really helpful. So I think, and I'm here for longer, so I get to really immerse myself this time.
So this is your third trip to India, right?
My second professional trip, my fourth trip in whole.
Where all was it?
I was married one time 10 years ago, and I got married in Rajasthan. It was amazing. It was so beautiful, I got engaged there, and then I got married there.
Right. You know, Orlando has a lot of fans in India.
Yeah.
This is your fourth trip. Any chances you will convince him to, you all will come here together? India is an interesting place for...
Yeah. No, I mean, India is so large, and there's so much to see in India. I think I'm definitely advancing Mumbai for him.
Okay. Oh,
that's amazing.
That's good
news.
That's
what I like to do is I'll go on these trips, and you know, I have a wonderful team that comes with me, and we get to really taste the wonder of the city. And then I'll be like, okay, babe, we're going back, and then we're going to hit this place, this place, this place. You know, like have a real understanding of the city.
Right. You know, when we sent out a question on the social media, Harley's in Hawaii was everyone's all-time favorite just because it's now. Is there some trivia that you want to share with your fans about shooting, something that comes to your mind while making it?
Harleys, making Harleys in Hawaii. I mean, well, one of the interesting things is I got my motorcycle license.
For this?
For this, but I had never ridden on a Harley.
Okay.
And Harleys are heavy. You know, they're really heavy, and they're very solid. But there's other bikes that are not as heavy. You know, and that's what I was training on. So the first time I got on a Harley Davidson was to shoot my first shot for the music video.
And where was this?
And this was in Kauai, Hawaii.
Okay.
And Kauai, Hawaii is one of my favorite places. It is my favorite place in Hawaii.
Wow. Okay.
It is the most lush, most tropical, most living, you know, place in Hawaii. And I wanted to kind of pay my respect to that place that that has given me so many great memories. I've had many holidays there, many Christmases, brought many friends and family.
So that was the best of 2019. I promise to get you the best from the world of entertainment from across the globe in 2020. Hope you have a fantastic new year. Stick around to NDTV 24/7.